All right, tomorrow is the big one. The club of Man United is hosting the club of Arsenal at the Old Trafford Stadium. Close to 75,000 capacity seater. That's where everything is obviously going to be panning out. For those that really want the match preview of what I'm going to say about Arsenal, go to the Rokani Media Football. That's where you're obviously going to be getting all the tea from. But here we are talking about a team known as Man United and what we think about it. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and we are here to see to it that we really elevate the level of production and content as far as this sports social media production is really concerned. And I thank you guys. I've gone ahead to be getting messages from everywhere, all corners of the world, that please, thank you for the new look, and it's not yet done. We are still amplifying and obviously trying to obviously add more and more and more and more to the already existing in here. Now, Manchester United has gone ahead to obviously get a very huge load of work to do. That is tomorrow at Old Trafford as we take on a club known as Arsenal. And I tell you what, the club of Manchester United has gone ahead obviously find themselves in a position of knowing the particular results of most of the teams that have gone ahead to play in the Premier League. And yesterday, Liverpool beat Bournemouth by 4-0. Newcastle have drawn with Aston Villa 0-0. Brighton has gone ahead to draw with Fulham 1-1. Sunderland has gone ahead to beat West Ham 3-0. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Bournemouth 0. Man City is playing right now. It's leading by 2-0. You know, that is the side of City in there for you. Meaning that United knows to it that they need to obviously beat Arsenal by 3+ goals to nil to obviously get into the slot of the top of the table. But is it the biggest deal for the club of Manchester United? I don't really think so. I don't really think so that it's really biggest deal in there for you, and all United needs is a win. But I tell you what, if there is the biggest test of Ruben Amorim, it is this one. It's not going to be an easy ride if at all you've been following up this particular game. United has gone ahead to bring in 3 signings so far: Benjamin Sesko, Mbeumo, and a player known as Cunha. And will all this trio be into the starting 11 for the club of Man United as we take on the club of Arsenal tomorrow? That's what we are waiting to see and hear in here onto the United Matters channel. Now, Man United comes into this game of football with Zexi doubtful, though he has been training. Lisandro Martinez is totally out. Andre Onana is back. And for your particular information, we want to let you know that in the middle of the week, United organized a game to obviously test the match fitness of Benjamin Sesko and Andre Onana in there. For Arsenal, Trossard, doubtful a little bit, but he might obviously flick and really get back into the squad that is going to travel to Manchester. And I know by the time I go to bed, I would have already gotten what we call the perfect team that is going to travel from London to Manchester. Gabriel Jesus totally out, but the rest of the players of Arsenal are available to obviously come and really compete at the level of a club of Manchester United in there for you. So that's exactly what United is all about, and I want to let you know that it's not going down, well for Man United, because Arsenal is really a very hard team and a very hard nut to crack. The previous 2 times Arsenal has gone ahead to come to Man United, I think we've drawn and then they've gone ahead to beat us. You remember very well when Arsenal went ahead to beat Manchester United, I think by 1-0 in May 2024. Was it Kai Havertz who was the goal scorer? If at all I'm not mistaken, I don't think Kai Havertz was there. Kai Havertz was not. Kai Havertz scored in in May 2004. All right, that's when Kai Havertz went ahead to score. Casemiro went ahead to obviously play him onside and really played the blind pass. I remember it like yesterday. Let's go to the probable starting lineup of Ruben Amorim as he comes in through to represent for the club of Manchester United. The system is 3-4-2-1. That's the system for the club of Manchester United that they're going to use. And however much Atil Beindir has been in the stitches for the entire preseason, I don't think that United will obviously give him a very huge go into this game. I believe that Andre Onana will obviously get back in between the stitches for the club of Man United as he was last season. We go to the three-man central defense. Mazarawi, I had even forgotten that Mazarawi is also out of this fixture because he's really injured. Now, on the right side of the three-man central defense, I go with a player known as Lenny Yoro, right? And I think he will obviously represent and do the needful because he's really good at playing such teams. Then, at the left of the three-man central defense, there comes in, who are the players competing for this place? Luke Shaw one. Aiden Heaven, Patrick Dogo can play there, and who else? Harry Maguire. Now, out of those 3 or 4 players that are competing for this slot, I think this guy takes it. He goes by the names of Luke Shaw. I really think that Luke Shaw is really that lad that has gonna obviously put in a shift, and if at all is fully fit, is the experience that you need into that team of Manchester United. And I really love everything he has gone ahead obviously put out to his test. And guess what? He is not one of those that is going to leave any stone unturned at this particular moment. Now, at the center of the three-man central defense, you might think of Harry Maguire and Matthias de Ligt. And I tell you what, this guy has become untouchable. Why is he untouchable? Because of what he offers every time he really represents for the club of Manchester United. And I know very many people have gone ahead obviously come up and really put in a very huge shift as far as not liking him. They've gone ahead and really thrown all sorts of banters at him, but I doubt their eye, their optics when it comes to obviously watching the game of football. The lad is special. And I tell you, United has no player who is like Matthias de Ligt. You understand? Last season, he was really one of the defenders that really stood out amongst all those that really featured. And this time round, you've gone ahead to see him in the preseason, also standing out in a system that he's really new in under Ruben Amorim. Though at Juventus and Bayern Munich, he used to obviously be playing in such a system, but we all know to it that all goes on well as planned. Now, that is the back three. Now, let's go to the right wing back. There is Mbeumo, there is Dalo, there is Amadi Diallo, there is Diego Leon. You can talk about Patrick Dogo, and even some people have thoughts that even Brian Mbeumo can obviously be brought in. But I want to let you know that it's going to be Amadi Diallo. It's going to be Amadi Diallo. Maybe Amadi Diallo will obviously feature into that position in there. Now, at the left wing back, Diego Leon, Harry Amaz. You can talk about Diego Dallo and Patrick Dogo. And we all know who is obviously going to be playing to this position. It's none other than Patrick Dogo. Who doubts it? Nobody. Now, from there, I want to let you know that the double pivot will obviously consist of 2 players, obviously. And I think that Manuel Ugarte will obviously come and really play a part into this position. I think will be played ahead of Casemiro, though the manager might shock us and obviously throw in a player called Casemiro in there. Alongside who? Alongside a player called Kobe Mainoo. I think the constant in that midfield is going to be Kobe Mainoo in there. Though I have a thought that the manager might obviously say, I'm going to be getting in Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes to see to it that he also fields Mbeumo and Cunha into his team. And I think that will be really bad for me because I believe he'll be weakening his bench in there. So that is my double pivot and the 2 wing backs that I think the manager will obviously go in for. Now, at the right of the central attacking midfield in what we call the 2 number 10s, the right number 10, I see a player known as Matthias Cunha coming in through to feature predominantly in there, and then Bruno Fernandes, who is really undroppable, will be played off the left for the club of Manchester United. But you might obviously see these ones really interchanging. Bruno going onto the left and Sorry, going on to the right and Cunha going on to the left. So that's exactly what we think the club of United will look like. Leading the line during the preseason, we've gone ahead to see Rasmus Højlund, Mbeumo, and Mason Mount. You know, Sesko has not played any single game. But the big question is, who do you start as your number 9? You know, is it Mbeumo? Is it Sesko? You know, because Rasmus Højlund is out of contention as United want to sell him to say to it that obviously they get in money to facilitate other moves in there for you. That is the club of Manchester United for you. And I think amongst all that really available, it's really gonna be shirt number 30 for the club of Man United, who goes by the names of Benjamin Sesko, as he has been playing in the preseason. If you've gonna hate to see the games of RB Leipzig, you know, in the preseason, he featured predominantly there, and he went ahead to obviously score some goals. And when you look at their first preseason game, it was played on July 19th. July 19th, you know, I think he featured and has been playing. And the only game he missed with Xavi Simons is that game that was supposed to be played that week, you know, when Man United was obviously trying to pursue him and really bring him to the club of Manchester United. So I believe he's going to be a very good player to obviously start, and the manager will have to trust him. An 85 million euro player has to start games like this. I tell you, he has to start games like this. You understand? So let's wait and see how that pans out. But that's what our thoughts are about a player known as Benjamin Sesko. You understand? So from there, we obviously have, we are calling in for your thoughts of who do you want in and who do you want out. When you look at Arsenal, Sesko will be facing Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba. That is it. Delete, Len Hero, and Luke Shaw will obviously be facing off a player called, what's his name? Victor Gyökeres. Kobe Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte will obviously be facing off a player, a double pivot of Zubimendi and Declan Rice. Now, Ahmad will have all the tasks, will be tasked to obviously take on, or to obviously defend a player known as Saka, and as well attack a player known as Lewis Kelly. Then Patrick Dogu will defend. Patrick Dogu will defend Saka, you know, and Amad Diallo obviously have to tussle it out with Gabriel Martinelli in there for you. So I think those are the notable battles that you can come out and obviously talk about in this particular game of football that is going to be featuring lots and lots and lots of people at the stadium of Manchester United in there. And I'll tell you what, nothing is obviously going to be stopping the club of Manchester United from obviously showing off and really showcasing what they think they are. And Ruben Amorim has the hugest test of his career in here, because this game means a lot. You know, maybe he can obviously do exactly what Ten Hag really did. Ten Hag lost his first 2 games in his full season. Although for Amorim, he went ahead obviously lose very many games out of his 28 games that he managed last season. But when he started to win, he never really stopped to win. You understand? Let's go to the head-to-head stats and see how things really pan out at the stats of Google. First and foremost, Man United have just lost 2 of their last 18 Premier League games, home games against Arsenal. United has 10 wins and 6 draws. Though both defeats have been with Mikel Arteta in charge of Arsenal Gunners. In November 2020, a penalty that was taken by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang after Paul Pogba brought an Arsenal player down in the box. And in May 2024, you know that very well, when United went ahead, obviously be beaten in there for you. Arsenal, secondly, Arsenal have scored in each of their last 11 Premier League away games against Manchester United. They've gone ahead to score 14 goals, having only managed to score in 10 of their first 22 visits to Old Trafford in competition. That is 11. Thirdly, Man United have won 99 of their 243 meetings with Arsenal in all competitions. 55 draws, 89 losses. They've only beaten Aston Villa 107 times more often, while they would be the first team to beat the Gunners 100 times. So if United, carries or walks away with the win that is tomorrow, when we are playing against Arsenal, would have gone ahead to beat Arsenal a century times. And we've been told again that this is the second time in English League Football United are hosting Arsenal in their first game of the preseason, previously beating the Gunners 4-1 in 1989-1990 season, meaning that the last time United went ahead obviously face off with the side of Arsenal as a Premier League opener, we beat them by 4-1. Can it reflect again in the game of football that is tomorrow? We wait when the referee blows the whistle at 18:30 minutes and see how things will pan out. And let's go to the last head-to-head start. Man United are beginning a Premier League campaign with a home game for the 9th successful season, the longest run of any side in English top-flight history. So, for the last 9 seasons, United have started a league game at Old Trafford. I can really get back to the games I really want to remember about. There is that season of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think where we started was it with Bournemouth. There is that for Erik ten Hag. The first game of the season we started Brighton in his second spell. That is 2023, 2024, 2022, 2023. We started at Old Trafford with Brighton. 2023, 2024. We went ahead to start off. We opened up with which team? At Old Trafford. I've forgotten the team, but last season we started off with Fulham at Old Trafford and we beat them by 1-0, and that's how we really went ahead to fare predominantly. Now we wait and see how things really pan out for the club of Man United. That is the fixture that I've gone ahead obviously come up with. I don't know what your honest thoughts are about that fixture, but now we go to the prediction, because I know most of you are really waiting to hear what am I really predicting about the club of Manchester United as it takes on the club of Arsenal at Old Trafford. The bitter truth is, Arsenal are the favorites. Arsenal are the favorites. Very many United fans don't want to hear this, but it's the fact. Arsenal are the favorites to win this game. On the percentage of 100, I think Arsenal has a 60% chance to walk away with 3 points. United has a 10% chance to walk away with a win and a 30% chance to obviously do a draw with the club of Arsenal. I tell you this, I'm not biased. I'm a United fan. I love United. I've been here for some time. I've lived to watch all what you're really telling me, but I can't come out here and really say that Manchester United is obviously going to be coming up to obviously beat Arsenal. It can happen, but it's not what I think is written on the cards. Arsenal are the favorites, and I think the best we can do at Old Trafford tomorrow is a draw. I think we can force a draw at Old Trafford, guys. That is it. I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but to me, to my understanding, and to the things I've gone ahead to see, United can only get a draw in here. When a win comes in through, I'll come out here, I'll come in here and celebrate it, because I want to see United win. You understand? But what have we done to obviously walk away with 3 points? Because the 3 additions we've gone ahead to add in through, 2 of those came in late. It's only 1 that came in earlier. Yet, the manager has shown us that he needs them into that team. Have they gone ahead obviously fit into that team like a glove? Because if they connect very well in the front 3, they can obviously be a havoc. But think of the midfield. The manager might come up and obviously use Bruno Fernandes in the double pivot. And you know how the midfield of Arsenal is obviously going to be looking. Arsenal, out of the players that Arsenal really had last season, it's only 2 that are capable of really starting this game. That is Gyökeres and Zubimendi. The rest are obviously going to be playing off the bench. So, Arsenal has a bond of players, or a cast of players that have been together for some time, and they've always gone ahead to come Old Trafford and really cause havoc to us. You understand? Now, This time around, they really have a poacher, a goal poacher in the names of Victor Gyökeres that we wanted to bring him through and decided to go on to play for the club of Arsenal. So that is it. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. That's what we had for you in here. Man United is taking on a club known as Arsenal. I call upon for your predictions into the comment section below. I really want to see what your thoughts are about this beautiful game of football that United is obviously going to be taking on a club known as Arsenal into the mix. So we sign out for now. I'll see you later, and let's see how things will pan out in the due moment in here onto our channel. Rock and David is the name. First video of the day. More is coming.